or you will be answering a contempt citation from the inside of a jail cell. Sit down.
Carly, look, I'm sorry, but this is not fair.
Mr. Travers was partially correct. I did allow Barbara to go with James, but I didn't do it to save my own hide. I did it to protect Carly Tenney and my lieutenant, Hal Munson.
I have no further questions. This witness is excused.
You should have done that.
I'm sorry. I couldn't sit here and listen to him make you sound like some kind of
I get why you're upset, Carly, but no more. You could blow this case against Barbara and you'd never forgive yourself.
Your next witness, Miss Griffin?
Your Honor, the state rests.
Mr. Travers, I assume that you want to recess for the remainder of the day?
No, Your Honor, my client and I are anxious to proceed. The defense calls Lily Snyder to the stand.
Rose had been kidnapped. Paul and I were at our wits' end. I thought if I dressed up like Rose, I could get Barbara to admit what she had done.
In other words, you conspired with Barbara's own son to trick her.
My sister was missing. I had to find her.
Were you not aware that Barbara Ryan was emotionally unstable after her devastating accident?
We were all aware that she was having some emotional problems at that time.
Did you refer her to a psychiatrist?
Well, she hardly ever returned any of my phone calls.
Yes or no? Did you take your friend by the hand and try to get some help for her?
No, I did not refer Barbara to a psychiatrist. It's been my experience that psychotherapy is only successful when the patient is a willing participant.
So you did nothing? You, who are supposedly her friend?
I'm her family.
Were you aware that Barbara Ryan was taking painkillers? Possibly more than prescribed?
Well, yes, I became aware that she was taking painkillers. Her burns were so severe, she needed some kind of relief. But she insisted that she wasn't abusing them.
And you believed her?
Well, I was concerned. I had my doubts, but
Were you aware of the troubled relationship Barbara had with her grown son? That she was estranged from her husband and her other children?
Yes, of course. I knew she'd shut everybody out.
Yet you sat by and did nothing.
Well,
you sat there and did nothing and allowed this vulnerable, injured, debilitated woman, obviously suffering from emotional and physical distress, to fall under the sway of a vicious criminal.
But how was I to know that James Stenbeck was involved? How could I know that?
You might have known if you hadn't abandoned your own niece.
I beg your pardon. She shut us out.
Isn't it true that you told other friends that you thought you'd failed Barbara?
Yes, of course.
Don't you feel that way now?
I felt I had failed her. I felt we all had.
That'll be all, Miss Hughes. Thank you.
Miss Griffin, do you have any further questions of this witness?
I would just like to remind the court that the witnesses are not on trial here today.
You may save that for your summation.
Then, no, I have no questions for this witness.
You may step down.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'd like a brief moment just to consult with my client. It's the home stretch now, Barbara.
What does that mean?
You're about to see why you're paying me the big bucks.
Mr. Travers, I trust you're ready to proceed now?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. The defense calls Jessica Griffin to the stand.
Your Honor, this is highly irregular.
You did, in due process, receive a subpoena from the defense, did you not, Miss Griffin?
Yes, but I never in my wildest imagination thought he would act on it. I mean, this is absurd. I'm prosecuting his client.
Who's charged with a very serious crime. Which is exactly why I'd like to outline for the jury my client's treatment at the hands of the district attorney. It goes to the very heart of our case. Your Honor, my client's freedom Her life is at stake.
I'll allow it. But I must warn you, Mr. Travers, you are treading on very thin ice.
Understood. I request that Miss Griffin be treated as a hostile witness.
Duly noted. Miss Griffin, please take the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, of course I do.
A few months ago, Ms. Griffin, in your capacity as district attorney, you suffered a widely publicized defeat, didn't you?
To what are you referring?
The attempted murder case against Craig Montgomery?
The state did not get a conviction in that case, yes.
That's highly unusual with eyewitness testimony, isn't it?
Well, that testimony turned out to be false.
And on whose false eyewitness testimony did your case hinge?
Barbara Ryan's.
That must have made you quite angry to find out your star witness was unreliable?
You mean she lied under oath?
Please answer my question. Did you or did you not have negative feelings toward Barbara Ryan after she lost you the Montgomery case?
I have always conducted myself in an impartial and professional manner.
Really?
Yes.
Even when you allowed my client to make a statement without an attorney present? As you sat by silently when the police used her miserably for their own ends? Even now, as you pursue her instead of the man who victimized her?
Is there a question somewhere in the midst of this tirade, Mr. Travers?
Let's not mince words, Miss Griffin. You hate Barbara Ryan because she lost you the biggest case of your career. And now it's time to even the score. It's your personal hatred of Barbara Ryan that allowed you and Oakdale's hapless, prejudiced police force not to go after the real perpetrator here, isn't it?
No, we had sufficient evidence to implicate Barbara Ryan in these kidnappings.
Sure. Evidence that was most likely planted by James Stenbeck.
Who will be prosecuted once he's found?
Why go after him when you've got Barbara Ryan in your hot little hands? Why, she's everyone's favorite pariah.
That's not true.
It's not? She embarrassed you publicly. Now's your chance to show her a thing or two.
Your Honor, I have objections. We need to approach the bench.
Your Honor, there's no need for a sidebar here because I submit that this isn't even a trial. In fact, what's been perpetrated here by the district attorney is beneath the dignity of this court. As I've shown today, this whole escapade is nothing more than an act of revenge. And for that reason, I move that these proceedings be declared a mistrial.
What?